Okay, let's see. Yo, shout outs to dev.shadowrealm for the typo identification. Okay, give it a couple of minutes and let's just wait for people to show up. Kind of want some water. Round three. I keep messing up the stream setup. I need to figure out actually how to get this stream to run properly without all of the configuration. Like there's so much stuff I have to do every time I start a stream. I have to go mute the volume on all of the browsers. Then I have to mute the volume from the computer mic. And then I have to set up a bunch of websites. I really want this thing to be fully automated so that I can stream this way easier than I do right now. Because right now the stream is just not, it's not easy. So, da-da-da. All right, let's go. Divine Being, GM. What's up? What is up? Let's see, what else we got going on? By the way, we should still also mark it on X as most token buyers will be on here. Facts. Yeah, there's definitely going to be the most token buyers on X because that's where all the crypto people are. So yeah, the whole point I was making about that, it was related to a different project that I saw. Was it maybe a couple of days ago? I saw a different project, and it's crazy because all of the marketing is focused on X, and the pool of crypto Twitter. I saw another post, and somebody was basically saying how the pool of crypto Twitter is like all PvP, and I just think that a lot of these products are not even designed to try to even bring on new people. It's like their whole focus is like, how do we get the same people that were playing in this other project to come over here? Or they're like, how do we take the project that we have and make the community even smaller? Like, let's make a new token for fewer people and get less people on ramped. And so I just feel like a lot of people in crypto, their marketing skills are trying to sell scarcity. And it's like, dude, nobody even wants the few things that you have. Like, let's build stuff that people want to use before we start trying to market scarcity. So, and I feel like all of these other platforms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or even blog posting platforms, writing platforms, basically you want to be everywhere you can possibly be. So yeah, I think what you're saying is right. Like we need both. We need the people that are in crypto, but we also need the retail people that are outside of crypto. Let me turn my light on. Turn on the lights. A little too bright. Okay. All right. So yesterday we tried to go to DevNet and we ran into an issue which actually only took me 2 seconds to fix, but by the time I realized what it was already 2.5 hours after the stream had started. So there was just a config variable that was missing that wasn't getting logged out to the console. So let me close up some of these websites here. So yeah, I guess let me kick off this stream with a little bit of news about the Bloxwap challenge. Let's see. Give me a second. Find my Twitter account. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so the first thing, let me switch over to this. So the first thing, going to talk about is the Bloxwap challenge. So we actually only had 4 participants, but all the entries were amazing. And so we just split up the 10 soul between the 4 participants for creating amazing content. They've already all been paid. And, you can go through this thread that I posted earlier in the community and you can see the different Bloxwap challenges. This one's sick right here. Dan has an actual Bloxwap tee on. This one was cool. She was like walking and she like walks into the wall, which is super funny. This one's amazing. Blockslinger is a doctor. He's in the doctor's office playing Bloxwap and a patient's not going to make it. And then we have this one from 10x Chris. Maybe it's just 10 Chris. I don't know what these X's are. But this is some VR, AR experience where he's playing in outer space, which also looks awesome. So a bunch of really cool entries. We're definitely going to run this again, but I want to run this off of X and run it on other social platforms and see if we can get people that are not directly in crypto excited about the project. So, yeah, shout outs to everybody who participated in the Bloxwap challenge season 1 or whatever we're going to call it. We're definitely going to do another one. So yeah, that is the Bloxwap challenge information. And I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I just, in trying to get everything working, I didn't have time to get to it. So this is the current state of the game. There's still like 1 or 2 minor things to take a look at. One of them is the click offsets. So sometimes you see I clicked up here and it opens it up down there. It's because it's using the full mouse and I need to adjust that. So I'm going to do that right after this stream. The stream shouldn't be too long, but the main piece of the application is working right now. So if you go to play live, you've got your account here. This one, I should actually show what you're logged in with down here because I can't actually tell. But this is my account. Now, one thing you're going to notice when you're in this game here is you're going to see like, hey, it says that I have no money, even though I have $5,000. And so if you want to get more money to practice on testnet, you can just click on this and you can obviously say deposit from bank. And on testnet, it doesn't pop up anything, but on mainnet, it will actually pop up a window that will bring up privy and deposit money. So I just got another $1,000. And the deposits, each one does $1,000. Now, the way the game is structured is you're going to have to go, once you log in, this will be your wallet. So everybody gets a wallet, an embedded wallet. And then there's a deposit button, which you can click, which is both of these are the same, this and this. So you need to have some money in your game wallet. And then you also need to have a Drift account. This is what was failing yesterday, but this is fixed now. So you can create a Drift account. And then once you create the Drift account, you'll see this play button light up. And what play does is it takes your balance out of your wallet and puts it into basically into the Drift exchange. So right now we don't have these views open, but or I don't have this linked up, and I don't know, maybe I'll add it in later, but there's a profile page. So once you create your account, you'll have a profile page and it'll look like this, and it'll have your public key. It'll have the balances for your different wallets. I don't know why this isn't loading all the way. Okay, there we go. It'll have your balances for all of your wallets. It will show your positions. So any spot positions you have, it'll show any of your orders. And these are the details of your trades. Now, one of the things I was talking to Drift yesterday, and one of the things that might have been stopping, there's 2 things that could be stopping the trades. One thing is the fact that there's no liquidity, which I'm actually going to spin up a liquidity bot later today so that anytime you place a perp order, it'll always be taken. And actually Drift provides you with a liquidity bot that you can just run. So I'm going to run that later today so that when you're playing later and throughout the rest of the time we're on DevNet, I'm going to find a place to host it so that it can always be running so that you can always practice on DevNet. And then the other thing is that there was very tight tolerances because I had very little room for slippage. So if the trade wasn't taken in under, like 1/10 of a second, or if the price wasn't exactly at the price where you click the button, I would just cancel the trade. And so I'm putting in a little bit more slippage tolerance right now for the trades, just to see if we can get some trades to go through on DevNet and have these leveraged collateral and fee numbers start moving around. So this is your profile. And like I said, I'll figure out a way to incorporate this into the menu. So it'll probably either go in this menu here, or maybe I'll put another menu to the left of it that has like a little person right here that shows your profile, so you can click on it and go to it. So that is that. And so when you're ready to play now, it's really simple. All you do is click play. It says cashing in. So it's basically taking the money out of the game wallet and putting it into the exchange wallet. And now all of the money is in the exchange wallet. So if you look here, you'll see your exchange wallet. You've got all your money in here. And when you're in exchange mode, that's when you can actually play the game. And if you pause the game, it just takes the money out of the exchange wallet and puts it back in the play wallet. And so this is how it's going to work on Mainnet as well, where the exchanges you're playing are making predictions, and the game wallet is basically your paused. So if you click, you can do all the clicks. Right now, nothing's happening because I think there's something there's basically no liquidity for 100x leverage perp bets. So when I was testing this before, these ranges were very small. They were like 1 cent or whatever. And so the positions would be open pretty much immediately because there was liquidity. So I'm going to run the liquidity bot, but this is actually starting to open the positions. There are no takers, but on Mainnet, this will actually work. So I tested this on Mainnet a little bit yesterday. And so on Mainnet, if you open these, somebody will take your position and you will get filled. Just that on DevNet, there's nobody to fill them. But as long as you can click here, this should basically be opening up positions. And if you're a dev and you go into the console here, you'll see the positions being created, and you'll see the orders opening on Drift, and you'll see like Drift position opened, which is the response that you get back from the Drift API when something successful happens. So the positions are being opened on Drift. They just need a maker, and I'm gonna run a bot in a little bit later today that will automatically be the maker. So that should fix everything there. And the one thing I wanted to test yesterday was that the referrers get set. So this account here doesn't have a refer because I made this account before the Drift thing started, but there is, let me see if I can find one with one. I made so many accounts yesterday with so many different wallets that I have. This one also does not have a refer. Let's see. A, B, C. Let me see if I can go through the history and see if there's one in the history. 1 second. Who's that? Trying to find an account that I made yesterday that would potentially have a refer attached to it, but I don't see one. Yeah, I don't see any. If I look, devnet.bloxwap. Nope. Localhost 3000 player. Yeah, I don't see anything. Maybe it's up here. Let me see something. Player. Okay. What's this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, you know what? I should be on DevNet actually. So devnet.bloxwap.com. Let me do it over here. And that's already there. Yeah. Go to my profile here. So it's taking a second to load. It might be trying to connect to Drift's DevNet server. So sometimes the connection on DevNet is not as fast as it would be on Mainnet. So you end up with a little bit of a slower connection. Yeah, so you can see the fee collaterals are dropping, right? Because every time I'm placing one of these predictions, there's actually fees that are getting taken out and going to the, well, this account doesn't have a refer, but their fees are basically going to Drift. So when you're placing your predictions, you're actually paying a small fee to the protocol, and part of that fee that goes to the protocol also goes back to Bloxwap. So there should be a way I can log into the wallet, the referrer wallet, and see how many fees have been collected so far. But I'll check that out in a little bit. Let me see if I can find this. Let's see if I can find an account with a referral ID. This one. Oh, nope. EA. I had an account called like Dev Joe or Joe Dev, something like that. B, C, D, F, G, H. I'm just going through. Oh, I could do letters too. Yeah, I don't see any. Is this one? I'm just guessing addresses now. Here, let me do this. I'm going to log in with my Google account on a different one, and then I should be able to see the wallet address. Let me log in with my Gmail, and I'm going to use, I think this account has one. I don't know. I think I made like 3 or 4 accounts yesterday, which was kind of silly, but it ended up working out because then I figured out how to get an actual address. Okay, this one. Is this a guy? So he's got money, but no. Oh, it's still trying to connect to Drift. Come on, connect to Drift, buddy. Huh. That seems to be a problem. That seems to be a problem. I wonder if there's a problem where it doesn't, like, there might be a problem with this looking at the profiles. If you're trying to look at a profile that's not your profile. Although that should not be an issue. It should be able to log in and see anybody's profile as long as let me try this one. Dev Joe. Come on, Dev Joe. There we go, Dev Joe. Okay, so this is another account that I have, and it's this Dev Joe account, and you can see this referrer ID. So this referrer is the contract address that will get the fees, and then this is the address that will have all the fees that then kicks in for all this stuff. So the hub.bloxwap, these are the terms and conditions. But if we go to the not roadmap, rewards, right? So that's what kicks into this reward distribution. So when people are trading, they're placing predictions. If they have this refer, which I assign to every user that gets an account created, all the referrals will go to this address here, this address right here, and then those rewards will get distributed in this distribution, right? So buybacks, team, prizes, and community. And so when we do this will be for, the blue will be for the core team, the green will be for the next Bloxwap challenge that we host, the yellow will be for competition, so we'll probably do some sort of like P&L competition or something like that, and then this pink will go towards the token, which is on Pump Fund. And then I think I showed you guys this before. This is the speculation button, right? So you can go in here and see token. So right now the market cap is 1.4 million, and you can actually go in here and say, okay, what if the buy and burn is $100,000? What happens to the market cap? So the market cap will go up to 7 million. So this is like a little, 2.3x from where it is now. So this is a little speculation button that actually reads the chain and calculates what the new Bloxwap price will be based on all the buy and burns and things that happen. So, and that's triggered by this referral code here that gets sent to Drift, and then Drift pays us a fee from every one of the transactions that we refer. So everything is hooked up. And as you can see in the earlier, in this contract right here, this user, you can see this is my account. So let me switch back to this. It's dying. I need to figure out, there's probably, my guess is that this is actually probably pretty slow because I'm trying to read from Drift on DevNet, and I don't think the DevNet RPCs are that fast. So something about this I need to take a look at. I'm going to just look into this real quick and make a little note to speed up the profile, because there's no real links to the profile page anyway, but it shouldn't be this slow. Look at profile performance, update clicks, and then run liquidity bot. These are like, this has nothing to do with the game, like the main game. This is mostly just like a visual. And then the clicks I do need to fix. I want it to be a better experience and be a little bit more accurate on the computer. And then I'll look into the liquidity bot afterwards, but everything should be working. So that's pretty much it. I think like right now the game is pretty much good to go. There's nothing really, I would say like that's like left. Oh, actually there is one thing. So this page right here, this how to play, I'm in the process of updating this right now, and just explaining a little bit more about the game. So when you're playing, I'm just going to go on DevNet, right? This will be a long, which means that you think the price is going to go up. If you go this way, this will be a short, which means you think the price is going to go down. And this is your leverage. This is a push. So if you predict a price and let's say I think it's going to go up, right? But the price never actually goes up above the $7, or sorry, above this price point here, then you get your money back minus the fees that it cost you to take out the leverage and open the position. So there's a way for you to engage with this and get your money back if your position if you don't actually win. So you basically win big or you lose fast. This is kind of how the game works right now. And you've still got the same markets. This is like low, medium, and high risk. So on Bitcoin, if you look at the price gaps here, each one of these is a $10 move. So when you place like a $7 perp with 100x leverage, you're thinking Bitcoin's going to go up, and you're basically putting out $700 and it goes up $20 and then per share, and then you get your money back out on the back end. So that's kind of how that works. Let's see. And then up here, this is the, that's right. In DevNet, this just gives you more play money. So let me go, in practice mode. In DevNet, you can see your wallet address. You can pause the game at any time. And so this is like, if let's say you're playing and you don't want somebody to just accidentally go in here and start playing with your money, you can obviously just pause it. And then if you really want to stop, you can just log out. And so that way nobody's in your account and you're just doing nothing, and you can go back to practice mode and hand this to somebody else. But if you want to play live, you can click here, click login. I'll log on my Twitter account. Yep, that's me. They fixed it! Yo, they fixed it! Oh my gosh. Hold on, sorry, you guys don't even know. So yesterday, Twitter has this thing. Up here, they have this untrusted developer thing up here that kept saying, oh, I'm an untrusted developer. Guys, I've had my Twitter account since 2011. I've been a developer on Twitter since then. I was like, how in the world did I just become an untrusted developer? It looks like they fixed it. Hold on, I got to send a picture to somebody. I'm over here. This is what engineers get excited about, guys. Hold on. I got to take a screenshot of this. Yes, sir. All right, perfect. Fixed. Let's go, Twitter, X. All right, so then once you're logged in, we're back to the main mode, and then you can obviously we're paused right now, and then you can just click play, and it goes into play mode. So it'll take the money out of your account and move it into the game, and then you can actually start placing your perp bets. So really simple, really straightforward. There's nothing too crazy about this right now. Let's see. Oh, and then down here, this menu basically has everything at the top, but it's all in one vertical menu. So you've got your markets again, you've got the leverage selection, you've got the wallet information, which is in that drop down, and then you've got the play. So this actually just takes you to the game, back to the game. You've got how to play, which brings up this onboarding experience. And then you've got the hub, which is the hub that has all the information about the game. So I actually need to update this, because this is like a super old version of the game where I was trying to make like a prediction market version versus what it is now, which is a trading version. So this needs to be updated. I also had this thing where I have some of these screens overlaid on top, and this is actually very bad user experience, because if you tap on balance and you missed it, you would make a prediction up here, and that's not usually what you wanted. So I just need to get rid of all this stuff. Everything down here is pretty much the same. We just we're starting with player versus market now, instead of player versus player. And then it's obviously this is built on Solana. We're going to be using Magic Block for the betting markets and prediction markets. We are using Pyth for our price oracle, Drift for our perps, Circle. This is a whole USDC powered game. You can play it inside of, Farcaster or Coinbase Wallet. Although I don't know if you can play inside of Coinbase Wallet, because I might have to delete this. Let me edit this, because I don't think Coinbase Wallet supports Solana. So I need to find a different brand to put here. I know Coinbase supports Solana, and then these numbers are not getting updated because I haven't updated this. But nobody even goes to this site. Nobody even knows this site exists. And then we've got all the documentation. So the roadmap, DevNet, Mainnet information. This is how to connect and how to play. Actually, I need to change these rules too, because you don't have to actually go to the faucet anymore, because the faucets, so you don't have to do, actually I need to update this too. Let me see, update, oh my gosh. So you don't have to go to the Solana faucet anymore, because I sponsor all the transactions. And you don't have to go to this USDC faucet anymore, because the Drift protocol has its own USDC that it creates for you to trade. And so you can just get as much of this as you want. So we're not constrained by either of these two things. And so you basically just go to DevNet and trade, and you can skip all this stuff. So I can edit this DevNet. Let me write this down. Update network, DevNet info. I'll probably do all this stuff after we launch, because I don't think anybody's going to be coming to this thing. But yeah, and then I need to update the this information. Oh, we're 1 month late. Supposed to launch October 13th. It's November 13th. GG. Then you got the privacy policy. We've got the rewards. So people are like, oh, what's the token use? You can just send people to this hub.bloxwap.com/rewards. It has the token. It has a link to the token. So people, all the speculators, you guys can click on here. You Wen Mainnet people. This is where you guys can speculate and pump and dump the price as much as you want. And then this is a link to buy. So this is what I send my friends who are like, hey, I want to buy the token. I want to support you. I just basically send them this link right here, which tells them to go to pump.fun, because this is for people that usually are not in the Solana ecosystem. So the easiest place to get it is just on pump.fun. It lets them deposit, and then you can click on this link. It will open up pump.fun right to the coin, and then you can just buy from the wallet. I showed you guys a speculate page. This is the buy, back, and burn flow. So you can see how that works. These are the prizes flow. So you can see how the prize pool works and goes. So from the rewards that we were talking about, this is the community payback piece, and then this is the team payout piece. So the way it's structured right now is 10% gets allocated to the team. Let me go back to the rewards. So 10% gets allocated to the team, 20% to the community, 30% for prizes, and 40% for buyback and burn. And then this is some brand stuff, which this needs to be filled out also, but I'll do this later. And then there's a GitHub link, which probably won't show you anything because all my repos are private. Oh, this is the drift protocol that's shared. So that's pretty much it. The main thing to do is just turn off the fee switch, turn off the guard. So here, if you go here to bloxwap.com, and I'm going to be checking this the rest of today. I'm just going to go through all of the keys. So this is what it looks like in real life. We have this waiting list here. This get notified for Bloxwap mainnet. This waiting list has 13,000 people on it. So we're going to actually send emails out to all 13,000 people once we are confident that live is working and that all the swaps and everything are working. So we're going to basically launch on Friday, launch tomorrow. I'm going to get rid of this screen and you'll be able to use this with real money tomorrow. And then once you can start using this with real money, we're going to turn this screen off, and there's not going to be, this screen is going to look like the DevNet screen. So if you go to devnet.bloxwap.com, it will, let me pause the game. I can't wait till Solana implements the upgrade where it goes even faster than it's going right now. It's gonna be butter. And then we log out. So this is what it's gonna look like when you go to mainnet. This screen here is gonna look like this. I should probably put some spacing in here. Let me add that. I'm just taking a bunch of notes. Add spacing to login screen at top. So this is going to look like that. And tomorrow you'll be able to click in here. And the only difference is that when you're logged in and you try to deposit from bank, oh, this should probably be disabled. Yeah, let me disable that. Disable deposit from bank and export wallet when users are not logged in. So actually, maybe you should even just disable even clicking on this whole thing. Disable entire game balance action live game. So yeah, this will basically is what this will look like tomorrow. You'll be able to play. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm gonna get this bot up and running, and then it should basically fill out the main part of the game. Oh, the other thing I want to do is, and I'm actually in the middle of doing this right now, is just get this simulation, so get practice mode to look more like mainnet mode. So that's just a little bit of logic changing in how the perpetuals get, how the perpetuals get opened. So like when you click on this, make sure that this behaves exactly like the mainnet. But that's actually in practice mode, and so like this push should be a little bit less than $6, and just making sure that everything works exactly how it works on mainnet. But again, it's fairly straightforward, and because we already have all the code from Drift, it's pretty easy to get the AI to help you adjust that. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna go mainnet. We're gonna do a soft launch. So when you click here and go to play live, actually what's gonna happen is when a new user shows up, they're gonna see this. They're gonna go through these steps here, and then it's going to be play live right here. And this will basically open up the live game, and they will be able to log in. So it'll look like this. They'll be able to log in. They can log in with an email address, Twitter, Google, Apple, or they can select a wallet, and any wallet they select will then create them an account. And then once they have an account, they just have to deposit USDC, and then they'll be good to start open up these perps. So it's very simple. Should be very simple. And I definitely am going to be paying attention throughout the weekend and just kind of getting people's feedback throughout the rest of today, Saturday, Sunday, because what I want to do is I really want to kick off the main marketing campaigns and stuff next week. But I want to have the game up and running and get people's feedback over the weekends and make sure that everything is working as expected. So let's go back. Let's just go back and watch the price of, what should we watch the price of Bitcoin? Yeah, let's watch the price of Bitcoin. And let's see, we've got some questions in here. So first question. Have you seen the Euphoria and the recent app preview? I have seen Euphoria. Dude, so cool story. Like Euphoria, I feel like they kind of kicked off a lot of this stuff. So let me actually show you guys what Divine is talking about. Shout outs to Euphoria. Shout outs to the team over there. They're like one of the co-founders worked at Google and the other one worked at Flashbots. Cool team, real cool team. Their game is slightly different. Same scene, but different. So let me show you guys what Euphoria looks like. So this is the Euphoria demo here. So it's like, it's got this, like betting pool market. So you basically have all these little grids. Actually, you know what? I think I have a blog post about this. Let's see if I go to media. Yeah, so this is what Euphoria looks like basically. So this is it's like a betting market, right? So there's a green, you have the current price, and then you have these multipliers that you get for placing bets on these specific boxes. So let's just say like each one of these bets is like $1. And so if it goes through this one, I get $1.20 back. If it goes through this box up here, I'll get $20 back. And you use this logarithmic scoring rule to figure out how much all these boxes cost. And you have to update these in real time as the price is moving based on historical data. So the interesting thing is, this is how Euphoria works. There's also this vibe.fun. I'm going to show you guys all the competition so you guys can stop sending me stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Please, if you guys see anything that looks cool, send it to me. But this is a similar concept, right? Vibe.fun. It's kind of hard to see the, can I? Hold on, let me see if I can delete the, HTML element. Give me 1 second. Elements. Oh, they're up here. All right, so you put this. I deleted the whole video. There's a thing on top of everything that's making it look dark. I'm trying to find it. Let's see. That's part of it. Vibe trade the internet. I don't see the element. Sorry, this is like when you're an engineer, is what you do. You sit down and you just try to figure out how to delete people's site without actually deleting anything that you actually want to see. I do not see. This looks like everything. Okay. Anyways, I can't figure out how to get it to go away. Oh, wait. I got a plan. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up the video. 1 second. What's this thing called? Research and development. Is this it? Yeah, okay, cool. I found it. So if I open this up like this and then I drag this in here, I press that. Okay. Yeah, so this is the video here. So it's basically, this is the Vibe.fun video. It's basically like a similar concept. You got these boxes, you place these predictions, and then when the price goes through your prediction, you win money back. So that's very similar to how Euphoria works. If you go back to this video, right, you've got these predictions, these boxes, and when it goes through the boxes, you basically have the outputs. There's also on Solana, what's the thing called? This project here, Rush.trade. This is the same thing, right? So once the price loads, so now the price is loaded, yeah. So you've got the same thing, right? You've got these boxes here, and you can click and you can get a multiplier for picking the price in the future. So these three games all have a very similar game design style, I would say, where they use like these these betting markets, and the betting markets are updating dynamically every like couple of milliseconds. And if you look, where is it? The picture that I posted, and I even talked about this when I posted it, is wait, what? Hold on, media. Okay, there we go. And then so this was kind of like the second iteration of how we were thinking about the game. So this is from about 12 days ago, which is using these betting markets, and it allows everybody to win. The thing I do like about this is that everybody can win. So there's like a betting pool that powers this, kind of like a liquidity pool. And so anybody who places one of these predictions, it's you against the market, and somebody provides liquidity in the market. And so it's a pretty cool system. But this would take you need to have bootstrap liquidity, which is one of the challenges, right? So if you want to build one of these games, the Vibe.fun, they have to go get liquidity. The same thing with Euphoria. They have to go and get liquidity, and the same thing with Rush.trade. They have to go get liquidity to basically make these boxes have value so that you can get a return on investment based on what box you click on. So I've seen a few of these. They're, like I said, they're slightly different because these all require like this one global liquidity pool, whereas the way that Bloxwap works is it's actually using a DEX, and it's actually opening up a trade, and it's actually opening up a perp. So when you click here, this is opening up a 7x market perp long with 100x leverage, and then it's closing out the position once it hits this line. This is not doing something like what any of these other projects are doing, where they have like a common liquidity pool. This is actually opening up a perpetual position and then closing out the perpetual position once it passes this blue line, which is the barrier, which is T0. So slightly different type of game, but it's definitely interesting. And I think, there's so far I've identified three types of games, and I talked about those in the blog post, right? So the first game that we had was something like this, where your goal is to put the blocks in the way of the current price. And if you hit the current price, you win. And if you're outside of the current price, you don't win. That's one version of the game. And the good thing about this is that it's very easy to build, very easy to design. The challenge is that this is fully PvP. So this game doesn't work. Like if you just show up to Bloxwap by yourself, this game doesn't work at all. You really just have to be able to bootstrap all this liquidity yourself to make this game work. And so it requires you to invite somebody else. And really, this game only works at scale. Like if there were 10,000 people playing this game, this would probably be way more fun than any of the other versions of the game. But you have to get to 10,000 people first. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to stop doing this and look at some other alternatives. And then that's where this idea came from, which is doing a more of like a betting market where you use this logarithmic scoring rule to figure out what the price of each one of these boxes in the future should be. And as people click, the prices obviously go down. And then once you get to the T0, you have a payout based on how many people pick this box versus another box. It's actually very similar to OR. Like, what's crazy? This is basically like OR, but in real time. Right. So OR, I don't know if you guys have seen OR. It's pretty hilarious. It's actually a pretty legendary project. I met the founder at this, what's it called? Like a bonfire on the beach a few weeks ago. But this is basically OR in real time, right? You've got it, but OR has 25 blocks, right? So you've got 25 blocks in a row, and your goal in OR is to pick the block that it's going to be. And OR has a 1 minute window. So imagine these blocks moving at 1 minute at a time. This is effectively how OR would work, is you would have this block and then you pick the winner and then everybody else loses. Except in this case, the winner would be determined by the current price and not by a random number generator, which the current price is kind of a random number generator. So this was the second iteration. And what we're launching with tomorrow is basically this, which is the drift powered perpetual system where you basically say, I think it's going to go long or short. You can apply leverage to your position. You're basically saying you think it's going to go above or below the current price. And this is how our game works. So our game is slightly different than Vibe.fun and not Pump.fun, Rush Trade and Euphoria, but all in the similar vein of like tap trading and making it very simple for somebody to be able to engage and do something that I would say is statistically or like normally very complicated, especially if you use any of these like older DEX tools that look like, they look like an exchange where it's like put in your order and then put in your limit and put in your slippage. We're just wrapping all of that up and making a very complicated interaction very simple. So there's 3 different ways that this game could be built and played, and Euphoria is doing one of them, which is cool. So to answer your question, yes, I have seen the Euphoria preview. Let's see. Rolando says, yo. So it'll all be updated. The game will be live tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to update everything over the weekend as I'm going through, and like, I'm sure there's going to be somebody who can't create a thing, or maybe I missed a referral code, or I'm missing some environment variable for something. And so I'm going to do all that stuff and get it all ready by Monday from the documentation standpoint. But the website and the game should be live tomorrow. How much of will the project earn if 1 million of volume is used in the game? Let's see. So it would basically be, I think, let's see. DeFi Llama. How do we, I wonder if this lets me search Drift revenue. So Drift, dude, this is one of those things. So Drift makes about $6 million a quarter. Okay. 4, 6. Okay, so nothing too crazy. Basically, our protocol is I think the fees that Drift pays out to referrals. What is Drift? Let's see. I don't remember. 15. I don't think it's this. It's not a referral link, is it? No. Maybe it's here. Let's see. Referral. 35% of the fees. So you get 35% of the fees that Drift collects. So assuming that we just do, so what is the volume here? Let's find one that's close to 1 million or easily. Here we go. So this is, fees. Okay, so they're going to get 20, or this is going to be, they're going to get $7 million in fees. They don't get all the revenue because I'm assuming they're paying fees out to certain people. So, it's maybe going to be, I don't know, $1 million of fees is probably going to be, so $1 million in volume, but this doesn't tell you, we need to figure out the volume. Here we go, 24-hour volume. They did $23 million in volume. And then where are the fees in the last 24 hours? No, dude. Annualized. Where's the day? Here we go. Okay, so fees in the last day, they did $57,000 of fees, right? So if we basically get a third of that, basically, let's just assume that we become all of the traffic of Drift, right? Which is, I don't know. Potentially could happen, but I don't know. then let's just round this up to $60,000. So they did $60,000 a day in fees, which means that if we were all the traffic of Drift, we would make 30% of that. About, it means 35%, but let's just say about. So basically it'd be like $20,000 a day would be the revenue if we became all of the traffic to Drift. So that's about what it would be based on the referrals. So the more people that we get on and we pump through the system, the higher our revenue goes. And then obviously it's a win-win, right? Because Drift also wins because they get fees. And I think I texted him. I said, because I'm in a Telegram chat with him, I was like, I look forward to making you guys very wealthy. So that's what it would look like at this current volume, which is like down here, right? It would look like about $20,000 a day in revenue, which is not bad. I don't know what that actually ends up being in a year. Let me see. Let me go to my calculator, my favorite app. Where's my calculator? Oh, there it is. So 20K times 365. So that basically be about a $7.5 million, $7.3 million a year annual revenue business, which is not bad. Now, I think we're going to be able to do a lot more, push a lot more revenue through this thing because compared to Drift's UI, our UI is a lot more simple, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we're looking at, if we do Drift's volume, we're looking at basically doing about 20K a day. And then you can take that 20K, right, and then break it down. So, if we do 20K a day times 30 days, that's 600K. And then if you take 40% of that times 0.4, that's 240,000. So then, all the moon boys, you can go here, you can put in 240,000. 1, 2, 3. And then this is what the new token price will be. Whoa, yo, that's crazy. So this would be what the new token price would be after 30 days. If we did 100% of Drift's revenue for a whole month, the new FDV for Bloxwap token would be 24 mil from the buy and burn. So little moon boy talk for you. Let's see what else is next. Joe, can we get some shilling support from the Drift team? Yeah, that's on our list. We have a bunch of people that are queued up to shill, but I don't want them to say anything until we're working. But I'm sure we can get them to shill. Yeah. Oh, so on our, let me open up. So there's a bunch of partners that we're trying to talk to help get our message out there. So we have this whole go-to-market plan. So we want to work with Pith, because Pith is what's providing these price feeds. Magic Block, who's going to provide our prediction market system, like the original version of the game that we had. Privy, who's providing our login. Farcaster, I've talked to the founder of Farcaster. So when we launch on Monday, and we're going to launch tomorrow, but when we go live and have an official announcement, we can get the CEO of Farcaster. He's got like 250,000 people to endorse the product over there, and we can get people over there. Circle, who I know some people at Circle, but I don't know exactly who to talk to get edification from them. And then the Solana Foundation, I want them to edify us. I'm actually going to go to Breakpoint, so hopefully I can find somebody there. If by the time if we haven't gotten any hype by that time, and then I'm also going to tell Toli, because Toli, he said like, yo, when you go to mainnet, let me know. So Toli will also give us some support, and so I think we can get support from all of those different teams, and those are all teams whose products we basically have incorporated into our product. So we're definitely going to get support from everybody. Oh, I didn't put Drift on here. Yo, that's crazy. Followers. How many people does Drift have? Drift, drift. 130K. That sounds about good. Let's see, 130K followers, and then drift. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll put the drift. We'll add drift to the list. Good question. Good question. Oh, and Milkman thinks it's a good question too. Let's see. I'm assuming the fee is quite low, as now it's leverage perp trading. Yeah, the fees are pretty low. It's like some really tiny fee, but the fact that you can click makes it. It's really, this is a volume game, right? The way that this game actually makes money is by somebody doing this, right? And clicking. And then if they win big, they get their payout back. And if they don't, and they push, which basically means they just get their money back, then they just get their money back minus the fee. But you're not going to lose everything. So the fee is a lot smaller, but you can have a lot more people play, and you can have the engagement also be a lot higher because you have a lot more shots on goal. So it could be I think it's going to be a fun dynamic for sure. Look forward to playing. Salute, fire. Do you think there can be too much volume? Too much volume. Yeah, though there would be too much volume if there was not enough maker side liquidity. So if you think about it, right, like when there's like a liquidity pool on the other side, and there needs to be somebody to take your position or to make your position so that you can you can borrow the money from them to open up your leverage position. And there could be a scenario where there's just nobody who wants to lend you money at that position at that price. So what ends up happening right now is that the game just closes out your position, and it just pays you back. Now, I feel like if I basically ran drift, or I ran my own perp decks, I would just make sure that everybody always gets paid out and try to have the game as engaging as possible so that people get paid out regardless of what happens. But I don't control the perp deck. So what'll basically happen is your position will just time out. It'll just, it'll basically be like this. It'll go up, you'll have this position open, and then this will just stay open. Nobody will take it, and then it'll just close out and you'll get your money back. So the positions can expire if there's not enough liquidity and there's too much betting or trading volume going in. So that is a potential problem. And I'm thinking about ways to visualize it. One thing I was going to do is when you click, instead of having this be filled in, I would have this as an outline, which means that you've placed a position, but nobody has taken your offer yet. And then once they take your offer, then it fills in, and then it'll obviously turn red. So I was thinking about adding that dynamic, but if I do that, that's something that I can add after we are on mainnet and testing. Like I can add that this weekend. That's a pretty straightforward change because I already keep track of all the positions that are open on the screen. So I can easily just convert the box from like a hollow box to a filled box. But this is a problem for sure. The volume can generate pretty crazy. More people win. So, actually, one other thing is, I think if you're betting like against each other like this, I don't know if Drift has something to manage that so that if you place a long and a short in the same like time frame, I don't know if they have a way to basically offset that liquidity so that maybe as more people are playing and maybe people are statistically betting against each other, maybe there's a way where the back end fills out its own positions, and so you're betting against somebody else, and maybe it makes it a lot easier to handle the leverage. But I'm not sure. I'd have to go do a little bit more reading and research. Just joined. When is mainnet? Wen Mainnet. That's the name of the show. I don't know. When is mainnet? Tomorrow, and the big push is on Monday. Look at BPB. Responsible. Answering questions. For real? Yes, for real, Lewis. Copernicus. All right, cool. Let me go look in the other different channels that we have and see if anybody on Arena has said anything. I feel like I always neglect Arena and I need to pay more attention to them. Oh, Zen Girl's over there. What's up, Zen Girl? She's super cool. Let me remove this. And then let's see, is anybody in the trenches? The absolute trenches? Nobody. Yo, Pump Fun is becoming very interesting now. I feel like I can't believe the token is still moving over there. It's kind of crazy to me. So, all right. So yeah, here's I guess what I would ask for people to do is go to devnet.bloxwap.com. You're going to come there. There's going to be a button at the bottom if you're in practice mode. I also want to figure out how to make this live, maybe make this green so that it shows you, hey, you got to go play with real money. But yeah, go to live mode. And then let me actually make a note for that. Make live mode button green. And then I want you to log in with whatever social account media that you have. So, you can use Twitter, Google, email, authorize the app. This will give you a wallet and you should be able to deposit money into your account just by clicking this. Money will just show up. Your bank account will go up. You should be able to create a Drift account with any username you want. Actually, there might be a limit on that. Let me actually check the limits. Drift account name limits. I'm going to put that on there so that way I don't want you to type something in that Drift won't even accept and then all of a sudden you can't have a name and it gives you an error. So I'm just going to do some client-side validation first. And then once you're done, you should be able to click play. And play will take the money from the game wallet and move it into the exchange wallet. And then you should be able to place these little micro perps over here. The fees are very small, but you should be able to just click your little heart out. And right now there's probably no liquidity. So I'm going to spin up the liquidity bot this evening and then get that working so that when you do take these positions, they actually do open up actual trades. Obviously, nothing's happening with the price, so I'm not winning anything. And then when you're done, you should be able to click pause. And when you click pause, you'll see the money come out of your exchange wallet and then go into your play wallet, and then you're basically paused. So just want you guys to test that, make sure all that stuff works, and then that should be it. If we find anything catastrophic with any of those steps, we're not going to go live tomorrow, but I don't think there should be any problems because I've tested this on multiple accounts and I've had a few other people try it out as well. So that's what we need. And this practice account, once this switches over to Bloxwap, is going to be the exact same account. It's just going to be, it's going to be your real USDC balance, not this Drift USDC balance. So there's going to be a couple of things we're going to look into tomorrow when we go live that we'll walk through just to make sure everything is working properly. But that is pretty much it. For right now, I'm excited. This game is going to go crazy. We're going to put Drift on the map, on a different map. Because right now, what is this? There's like a contest for which protocols are doing the most revenue on Solana. Let's see. Somebody posted a list. Is it? Where's the list? I don't know where the list is. But there's a list somewhere where you can see which protocols are doing the most amount of revenue on Solana. And yo, this is crazy. Drift, this protocol here, this is like a real thing, right? They have a gold star, they have a square, they got this goat or whatever here. Their community has 477 people in it, and the Bloxwap community has like 300 people in it. So who are all these people? Why are these people not in here? Where is this? Night with Stars. Okay. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna do some. We're gonna have some pretty good heat coming out. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, let me switch back. Okay, so mainnet mañana. That's tomorrow. And then we're gonna do our GTM, our go to marketing plan. We're gonna kick that off on Monday. So let me just double check the wait list real quick and see if we've added any significant numbers. Getwaitlist.com, log in. Yeah, some of these websites, they have like light mode. It's too bright. Okay, yeah, we're still at 12,000. With 12,083 signups on our wait list. So we're going to start reaching out to them. We're also going to go through our partnerships. So get protocols that we're working with and using to help try to promote us. Actually, you know what? I just remembered. I went to Pump Fund's headquarters a few weeks ago. And I talked to some of the devs there. And they were asking about how they could help us with our token. So I am going to add them to the list. Pump Fun. Give me 1 second. Pump.fun? What is their Twitter account? Pump.fun. Yo, I'm struggling. What? Wait a second. Pump Fun got Pump Fun, the account? Oh, they must have done that Elon Musk pay for the thing. Nice. They have 612,000 followers. So that'll be another one that can help us, right? Because Pump.fun, we have our Pump token, which is right down there. Pump.bloxwap.com. And so if we can get them to promote us, that'll be another good partnership post. So we'll try to get Pump.fun or all these partnerships to promote us. Pith, Magic Block, Privy, Farcaster, Circle, Solana, Anatoly, Drift, and Pump. Oh, wait, I'm forgetting somebody. What's the company that Mert runs? Helius. We do use Helius. Let me add them to the list. 1 second. Helius. Helius Labs. Helius Labs has 65,000 followers. 65,000 followers. Helius. So, Pith, Magic Block, Privy, Farcaster, Circle, Solana, Toly, Drift, Pump Fun, Helius, and then maybe we can see if we can get Mert, because Mert is legendary in the game. Let's see, Mert. Although, this isn't Zcash, so who knows? Who knows? 294,000 followers for Mert. Okay, so we're gonna go through all these partnerships. We're gonna unleash our main wait list, which has 12,000 people on there. So we're probably gonna just go through, and then we're gonna have a follow up sequence, kind of like a growth strategy where we reach out to people, then we follow up, maybe announce some sort of reward or some sort of not hackathon contest. We want to do some scheduled interviews. So I haven't scheduled anything yet, but there's a couple of people. I think the main person is like Thread Guy. He's probably the best person to chat with. I would love to do it in person. I could just fly down to LA. It's pretty simple, pretty quick flight. So that would be cool. And then if there's any other people that you think would be good to do interviews with or schedule calls with or get on stream with, just let me know. I think, there are a lot of people that are like, hey, let's do a stream or let's do a collab. And then they're like, oh, and pay me, whatever type of money. And so those people, they can wait. I'm talking about people that are reputable, that have a legitimate following, not somebody who's just got a bunch of bots behind him. Then we're going to probably do another Bloxwap challenge, season 2, where we're going to try to go for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then we're probably going to do some paid acquisition as well. So we're probably going to do get a post going on what's that place called? On Deck Screener, because that was actually very helpful for the initial launch. So once we get a little bit of FOMO going, we can post it on Deck Screener and maybe post that in conjunction with the pump fund stuff and do a marketing campaign via that. And so I think those will be good spots to do some advertising, and then maybe do X marketing. Although I don't really know how X marketing would work. Maybe we do like a good Bloxwap challenge for the X marketing. So maybe when I'm in Abu Dhabi, I'll be able to come up with something that's going to be funnier than the Lambo one. So those are the 5 things. And then we're going to do a trend. We want to do some sort of competition. So we'll figure out how to host a contest and get people involved in, trading versus each other, like best P&L of the week or something like that, and have a community reward for that, or a prize for that. Bro, you have like every major crypto team. You know what's crazy about Solana? There's not that many people. Like on Ethereum, I feel like Ethereum has more chains than Solana has projects. Like there's more different EVM chains. There's more founders of different EVM chains than all the projects in Solana if you just broke down all the founders. Because I got intro to like one person in Solana, and then that intro led to another intro to another intro. And within a few intros around, you pretty much get to meet everybody. And I feel like on Ethereum, there's like so many little pockets. There's like the Hyper EVM pocket, which has got their own custom thing. And then you've got like the Monad pocket. And then you've got the Base pocket. And then you've got the Optimism pocket. And then you've got there's like just the Polygon pocket. And then you've got, the Binance pocket, which is all in Asia. It's like there's just so many different pockets of people and so many different chains. You've got the people that are spinning up like Doge Chain and what are those things? What is that thing called? The consensus. Hold on, let me check it out real quick. Avalanche, right? That's a whole other pocket. It's just there's so many different pockets of people, and those are just the heads of those projects. Then underneath those projects, they each have a whole ecosystem of 100 developers that are building stuff. Oh, then there's like Pulse Chain. That's that pocket. So there's just so many little different pockets of different chain founders and different things. And in Solana, everybody's pretty much just building on Solana. And then there's a couple of founders that are building stuff, and everybody's just in builder mode. Like nobody's really chilling and hanging out and doing a bunch of social stuff. Everybody's just shipping. So that type of energy has made it really easy for me to like run into and meet and get intro to everybody. So it's like I meet somebody, I'm like, hey, who runs the RPC? There's like 2 RPCs. So it's like Helios or the other thing. So it's like, all right, I know Mert, he's good at social engagement and social marketing, so I'm using their product. It's like, okay, who runs the pricing oracle? Well, there's Pyth and there's the other team. It's like, all right, well, I'll use Pyth because Pyth is tied into Magic Block. And I got intro to Magic Block from another friend. And so it's just like there's not that many options. And so it's a really tight-knit community. Like Solana is basically the size of like one EVM chain in terms of like the size of the builder community. It feels like that at least. And there's probably 10 mega EVM chains out right now and more coming on the way. Monad's coming, Mega ETH is coming. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on the way. But yeah, it is there is a really cool community over here, and it's also very heavily on the builder side. So I think that's a really cool setup right now. All right, let me just go through and see if there are any more questions. And if there aren't any questions, I'm going to go get some lunch. And then after that, I'm going to come back and wrap it up. All right, let's see here. Where's the other group? Okay, no questions here. No questions on Arena. Shout out to Zen Girl. No questions in the main chat. All right, chat. Tomorrow, I'll probably do a stream a little bit later in the afternoon, but I just have to get all the configurations set up, all the private keys set up, make sure everything is locked down, and then we should be good to go to mainnet. So I just need to make sure all the keys that we need to run mainnet are deployed properly, and then we should be good to go. And then we can test this out. Test this out in real world. And then people will stop asking me when mainnet, and then they're gonna be like, when token pump? We'll get to the next question. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see everybody tomorrow. I'll post the time for the stream in a few hours. I'm gonna go get some lunch right now. But have a great day. See ya.